Hi guys, welcome to some more Real Talk Dog Talk. I'm Tori.
And I'm Barb.
For those of you who haven't joined us before, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com.
And if you are a regular listener and or emailer, we love hearing from you. Keep those emails coming in. We get some good ideas from them.
Yes.
Today we're going to talk about dogs going for rides in cars.
Yes, I think this is a really good topic because who doesn't want to take their dog with, you know?
Actually, I see it more and more.
Yep.
Yep. Sometimes you see a dog anxiously navigating its driver. Mm-hmm. Well, and we talked last time about the dogs actually driving. So.
Yeah, see, this works right into that. It's great.
Yep. The dogs are in the car more often.
Yes.
Some of the things that I think are important to know with that is with any dog, the younger you start them riding in a car, the better.
Yes.
It's just like socializing. You want to get them in there, teach them it's okay. And, you know, this is what I'm really bad at because I know this is just going to make people think, oh, she's an idiot. And maybe I am. But when I drive, I am like all over the road. I'm, reaching for something on the floor or, I'm talking to the dog in the back.
Yeah.
I'm not on my phone. I'm not a phone texter driver person. But it seems as though I have ADHD. I can't seem to stay focused on the driving situation.
Very distracted driver.
Right. Oh. Are you throwing a legal term at me?
No, I wouldn't.
So anyhow, my dogs have to learn to live with those like ruts on the side of the road and in the center that go.
Yeah.
And every time I go over them, the dogs stiffen up and get alert. Like, what was that?
You know, it's funny because I saw a video on Facebook and, I love some of that stuff that you see because these two girls were taking a road trip of sorts and they had Blue Heeler in the back, and clearly there was an abrupt stop because the girls were laughing at a stop sign, and then they pan back to the dog who's on its back between the back seat and the front seat, where clearly couldn't keep his footing when she stepped on the brake.
That's a distracted driver.
That is a yeah. I was like, that dog looked very annoyed at the situation.
Anyhow, so after years of riding with me, my dogs are used to the safety ruts on the sides of the roads. But it's good to get them used to those noises, even the radio. Actually, I don't listen to the radio too much.
No.
But like when I do have it on, the dogs don't know who's talking in the back of the car.
Right.
So they're kind of freaked out by that. But there's so many things in that environment that you have to, teach them to get used to. And anytime you start younger, it's better.
Yes.
That's not to say if you get an older rescue dog that you can't work with them on it.
Yeah.
So it also, some of the benefits of teaching your dog to ride comfortably in a car is there are times that they have to go to the vet.
Yes.
And you do need to get them there.
If you happen to move, I mean.
Yeah, relocating.
Yep.
Even something as far as your own vacations, either taking them with or getting them to wherever you're choosing to board them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some people can say, oh, my dog doesn't go anywhere. But there are times that, it's kind of tricky to not have your dog acclimated to that.
You want to be able to, well, and that's the thing, especially with vet, but you have to take them to the vet. So there's going to be times where that is super necessary. And
now I do know some farmers, because I live in a farm community.
Yes.
That will have their vets when they come and work the cattle or take care of a horse or something to that effect.
Yeah.
That they will have them get their dogs their shots at that time. So,
well, that's handy.
Some people have little,
special circumstances.
Yeah, the way of saying it. That, they're able to not take their dogs in the car.
Yeah.
I do know I had a friend, I thought I mentioned this in a different podcast. It must be the Alzheimer's setting in here.
Yeah.
But I used to have a friend that had, I believe they were Pyrenees lab mix.
Okay.
And these dogs, I saw them, they were pushing like 200 pounds, and she got 2 of them.
Oh, yeah.
And she never took them anywhere, and she could not get them in, and she didn't have a farm situation where the vet could come out.
Oh, yeah.
Those dogs would turn vicious on her for getting them in the car to go to the vet.
Oh, my gosh.
They absolutely hated the car.
Yeah.
So, for, just practical purposes, it's, even if you can take a puppy, 8-week-old puppy that you're trying to get used to it,
Mm-hmm.
Drive them to the corner store for a pop.
Right.
Yeah.
If you live in the country and you have a long driveway, take them to the end of the driveway to get the mail.
Yeah.
And back.
Just get them used to going in the car a little bit.
Yep.
I mean, I have dogs that they seem so excited about getting into the car. They can't wait. They see a leash and a collar come out, and they're like, woo!
I am ready.
Yes, we are going for a ride. And
Yeah.
then as soon as you get them in the car, they freeze.
Yep.
They don't move the entire ride.
Yeah.
It's very stressful, and they're not happy.
Mm-hmm.
So not all dogs like riding in the cars.
Right.
It's just kind of the way they are. But it's really a practical thing to teach them, is how to, be able to be in there.
And if you do have a dog that does have anxiety and they're, you're able to get them in the car, but they're not really enjoying it, there are things that they have for that. You can see a vet, and if it's bad enough, they can give you a prescription, something that'll help, relax in the car so that it isn't so terrifying and all that for them.
Right.
So that's, and bring some treats with you. Occasionally give them a treat if they're even
Make
just
it a positive.
Yeah. Yep, just make sure that it is a positive thing.
So if you do bring treats with, and you bring high value treats, it's a training opportunity.
Yes.
It makes it a positive, happy thing, and can kind of distract them from what they're afraid of.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Yeah.
I will say this though, I take dogs with me all the time.
Right. Yep.
Here and there, here and there, here and there.
Yeah.
But I will say that I have a couple dogs that they seem okay in the car, but I know they're not. Yazi
Oh, yep.
will not eat anything.
You could
When
give
he's
him
a-
a steak.
Yeah, I've stopped and gotten turkey sliders for him.
Mm-hmm.
And you can give him just the meat, good meat, and he won't touch it, not when he's in the car.
Yep.
And that's a sign that he is not comfortable.
And you wouldn't think it just looking at him.
No,
'Cause
he's just chilling in the back,
Yep.
but he ain't going to eat anything.
No.
So I think you have to also kind of be aware of those little signs that are saying, hey, I am not happy with this ride,
Yep.
just so that you can make it a little bit more positive. I also never have my music or radio loud.
Right.
Some people like to blast the music while they're, heading down the road. But you don't really want to do that when a dog is nervous anyhow, because it's just too much.
Right.
So
Well, and I'm a jammer. I like to jam in the car. It's
we know that.
But if I do have a dog in the car, I keep it down, and if I'm jamming along, it's at a much lower tone.
A little less stimulating.
It is, yes. I have a dog that likes to sit in the front seat. Well, he doesn't fit anymore. So, that's not really a thing anymore. But when he was much younger, he liked to be in the front seat, and my speakers in the back of the car don't work. So I had to keep it down quite low because he is he gets in the car fine, but then he's very nervous. Which actually you're not supposed to have your dog in the front seat for several different reasons. It was on the internet.
Oh.
With the airbag, if something were to happen, that could really cause a lot of damage to the dog. And if a more serious fender bender happened, that could, with you and the dog both up front, that could cause some issues there.
Now, the way I would look at that is, if I got an fender bender, my dog is the airbag.
Yeah, well, they're big enough, yeah. Yeah.
kind of a fluffy, what am I thinking?
Fluffy, warm airbag.
Yeah, not
I
only
know.
is it cushy from the crash, but it's toasty, warm, and
Yeah.
cuddly.
Yeah. And they'd probably, feel like cuddling after that.
Or
So
they'd be dead.
either way,
We hope not.
we hope not. Yeah, we
No.
don't want that.
No.
So that's something to keep in mind too, which I guess I hadn't thought of that because, again, some of my dogs like to be up front.
Well, I drive a minivan. Much to my chagrin, minivans are not my cool car idea.
Yes.
But I do have a futon mattress in the back
Yep.
it's got a sheet and a mattress pad on it, and it's just super cozy. They've got a couple of chew toys and digestible bones back there. And my dogs just kind of hang out in the back, and I don't know, they seem pretty happy back there. Once in a while they try to come up front, but they do recommend the back seat only, and I don't know how a mattress in the back kind of fits into back seat only, but at least they're not in the front seat.
Well, they're not in the front seat, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but my kid loves it because he's got like a whole cuddle area back there with the dogs.
Oh no!
And
super comfy.
Yeah.
But they talk about buckling the dogs in.
Mm-hmm.
There's different safety devices. Did you come up with anything on that?
I did, and it doesn't look like there's a ton of variety as far as types.
Mm-hmm.
They have a seatbelt tether with a car harness.
Oh.
So it's like the harness connects to a shorter leash that then buckles into the seatbelt.
Mm-hmm.
And then the buckle pet seat, those are more towards smaller, medium to smaller dogs. They fasten to the seat, and then they have taller sides.
Than a dog bed?
Yep. So it's, and they have different styles of these. Besides that, it's pretty much just, they have the dog barriers. So there's canvas, metal, and those keep them just in the back. So they're not coming up into the front. And then they have net ones.
I saw a post on a guy on Facebook. He had a net divider between the back of his car and the front.
Yeah.
And he did it so his dog wouldn't distract him while he was driving. And the picture on the post was his, I'm not sure, I think it was a pit bull of some sort.
I believe so.
But it was hard to tell. He had his face like smushed into the net, and he was like looking at the guy.
Yeah.
And it looked absolutely ridiculous. That's why I'm not sure if it was a pit bull, because its face was smushed into that.
Quite hard to tell.
And I think the guy said something like, I put this net up so that my dog wouldn't distract me.
This is clearly distracting.
Very. So I don't think it worked for him.
No, I think and there again, you just got to know your dog.
Right.
So, but that actually is a hilarious video.
Yeah. I do know there are some things to think about, and first and foremost, this is the kind of thing that, people love to call the cops when they see this in the parking lot, but you need to always be aware of the temperature, how hot or cold it is for the dog.
Yes.
In the car. And they typically recommend, if it's below 30 degrees or above 70, do not leave your dog in the car.
Yes.
For temperature purposes. I know sometimes people see a dog in the car and they immediately decide that the dog is in distress, and they call the cops.
Right.
And really, they're not really assessing the whole situation. I was sitting in the Walmart parking lot one day, and I saw this guy pull up, and he had some, what are those allergy-free dogs? Something doodles?
The Labradoodles, I think.
Yeah, it was something like that. And the guy had both of the windows halfway down in his car. Halfway down.
Mm-hmm.
And he had just, I mean, I'm sitting with, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
I saw it happen. The guy walked into the store. He wasn't even gone 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He got out of the car, walked to the store, and the dog started barking like a mad dog.
Yeah.
Because he wanted his guy to come back.
Right.
And just as the guy went in, two ladies came through the parking lot and they were complaining about how horrible that dog had it. And they couldn't believe that the owner left him there like that.
Yeah.
And they were just appalled. And even talking about calling the police. I was sitting there, heard it, saw it, everything.
Yep.
And the guy was in after they went in, I don't know if they called the cops because I didn't see anyone show up.
Yeah.
But I bet the owner of the dog was probably not even in the Walmart 10 minutes. He came out with like 2 items.
Oh, yeah.
And got back in the car and left.
Mm-hmm.
And here, when I saw that whole thing transpire, I thought, people are hyper-reacting to something that is not even a big deal.
Right.
I don't know. I would not leave my windows halfway open because my dogs would leave.
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, to have people just judge that situation when they didn't even see what happened, because the guy, in my opinion, really didn't do anything wrong.
Well, yeah.
And the dog was so excited when he came back. It was not a negative situation. That dog loved his owner. And the guy was in there 10 minutes getting 2 items. And these people were, talking about calling the cops.
Well, and that really makes it difficult to travel with your dog if you do have to stop somewhere. That is something that you have to worry about, but which is unfortunate because you could be the best dog owner in the world and somebody who's sticking their nose in somebody else's business can come along and ruin it.
Well, I think when you're traveling, there's a couple things you can do. One, you can have a travel partner, like another human.
Right.
Adult. So, or kind of an adult.
A person.
We're not really grown up in my family, so I don't know. It's kind of irrelevant there. But you can take a friend with, a partner, whoever you got, travel with someone. So there's always someone in the car with the dog.
Yeah.
Make sure to plan, your travel time. If you're going to go in a car and that dog is going to be left in the car, you might want to pick a time of year where it's not terribly hot.
Yes.
And then too, I think it's great if you can find, we've talked before about, that little town halfway down to my mom's house that has that great dog park.
Yeah.
Right behind a gas station. So you get gas, you can go around to the back and let your dog run. And they have a drinking station, a play area. You just have to pick up the poop.
Right.
And it's just great. So you can kind of plan your travel along, the lines of having somewhere to let your dog get out, run, and exercise a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and I found this, one of the lists that I was looking at for this type of thing. It said to plan a route that includes stops that your dog loves to visit.
Oh.
That's a lovely thought.
Well, that would be for a home like yours where you have conversations with your dogs.
Right. I'm thinking to myself, well, how would you figure that out? Because I feel like if you brought them to anywhere where they can get out and run around and, sniff, they're probably going to like it.
Yeah.
But
well, I think my dogs would just want to go through the Arby's drive-thru
right.
over and over and over.
Yeah, just bring me the food.
Yeah.
Okay. Those high value treats, we'll call it.
That's craziness. Yeah. Check with your dog. And
see what
where they want to go.
Yeah, I'll have to ask mine later. I'll let you know.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, but you just have to kind of plan your trip if you travel with your dogs.
Yep. Well, and too with that, with being further from home and all of that and stopping at these places, you want to make sure that you have your ID tags are up to date with all your current information. Microchipping is kind of best case because...
Well, it can't get lost.
Right. With a leash or a collar, it could slip off, it could break. So many things could happen.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you got that in line too, in case they do happen to get away or who knows? You never
Right.
know.
Well, that would be awful if you're traveling and you lost your dog because it would be so hard to, get them back. One thing I did find, and I'm going to look at my notes so I say the right states, but there are 2 states that actually have, let's see, West Virginia and New Jersey. It is a criminal offense to leave your dog unattended in a car.
Oh,
Actually, I would imagine that's any animal, but like I say, we're about the dogs, not just the cats so much, but you
Right.
can't leave your pets in those states in the car unattended.
oh, wow.
Or you in a lot of legal issues,
Well, it's a good thing we don't live there.
I guess.
Because,
So yeah, if you're going to travel a distance, you might want to check your route and see if there's any limitations that way, if there's any other states. One thing I didn't find, and I'm kind of curious about, maybe you found it, I don't
Okay.
know, but I was looking for like states that require safety restraints for dogs. Did you find anything on that?
so I didn't find specific states. I do know that they highly recommend them, which, I mean, I guess it's the same as a seatbelt for a person, but I don't know if I necessarily agree with those. I feel like,
I am totally opposed to seatbelts.
yeah,
I've never liked them. I don't feel safe in them. I don't
well,
like them.
if you are in an accident where you can't get out. I mean, the seatbelt could get jammed, it could get stuck. I mean, you could be passed out in a, somebody else
ditch full of water.
right. If your dog is in there restrained as well, there goes your dog too. I mean, there's so many bad things that can happen by keeping you stuck to that car.
Yeah. So, I know I'm making tons of points on that one, but I am not a fan of seatbelts for myself or my dogs.
Right.
So I just feel like that is too, you can't get away.
Right.
So I did not find any states that said, yes, you have to have them restrained.
Right.
But, you can use, I guess, a crate.
Yeah.
That's something you can use. And I guess if you have like a net or a divider in your car, that's a little bit safer as far as, it keeps them out of your driving area so they aren't distracting you, but still gives them some level of freedom. They're not strapped to the car.
Right.
So that's kind of a nice idea as far as traveling goes.
Well, and that would probably be my preference if I was going to use anything. I don't think restraints are really a great idea in my opinion. Well, and even if we don't really agree with the seatbelt thing for the dogs, the restraints, there are things that can actually be dangerous for the dog, like a choke collar. That's something that if you think about it, it actually can be quite dangerous. If they're in the back and they have a choke collar on, it gets hooked on something, they start panicking, that can cause, damage to their neck.
Yeah.
It can be distracting to you, could cause an accident,
Yeah. Well, you always have to think about the dog panicking. That's why it's important to start with those little trips when they're young to the mailbox,
Yep.
to the corner store to grab a pop or whatever you're going to do. And you're not just like throwing him into a 1,000-mile trip.
Right.
So you do those little, because I think one of the hardest things to deal with is a dog panicking.
Oh, yeah, they're not listening to anything.
You're looking at getting bit, scratched, not being able to control whatever is happening, getting them unhooked or, whatever the case may be.
Yep.
But,
and if you do manage to get them unhooked or whatever, they might take off because they're just
scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So that's, I actually I'm not a fan of choke collars.
Yeah.
I don't like them at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think of that one. So yeah, that's a great safety tip.
It is. And I wouldn't have really thought of that either. So I'm glad I came across that.
I suppose if you're traveling, a really good way to walk your dog is with a harness on, which I don't really use harnesses on my dogs.
Yeah.
But that might be, if you're looking at the possibility of the dog freaking out and being, a little hyper reactive to new surroundings. A harness is it just kind of embraces their body instead of pulling on their neck.
It really.
So that would be a really good solution for a dog who might possibly be panicking.
It would be. Well, and I have Jim. He actually not even in the car. He's fine in the car. He's my little co-pilot. It's cute. But, as far as even being on a leash, he has to have a harness because if he has a regular leash on, for whatever reason, he kind of panics at the leash hanging from his neck.
He kind of flails around.
So.
Yeah, Jim just looked at me.
He's adorable.
I flail around? That's what he's saying. Oh, look at you.
He does.
Anyhow.
But, so, and they can be, just I think that does help, just having that wrapping around them, and it gives them a little bit more secure feeling.
Right.
But also, when you're traveling and stuff, too, you want to make sure that if, you're up to date on vaccinations, you got flea and tick prevention going on, all that stuff, because you're stopping at these places along the way, giving them time outside. You don't know whose dog's been there, if they're vaccinated.
Exactly.
All that stuff. So,
well, and wouldn't it be awful if you didn't have your dog vaccinated? You go on a happy trip thinking things are great, and a month later your dog is deathly ill because you didn't have them vaccinated. And, that's not saying anything bad about people who fall a little bit behind once in a while.
Right.
But overall, you need to really make sure that you're not causing them to be sick from other people who might be irresponsible.
Right. And, if you're planning a trip, put that into your budget. Make sure that that's done. And
if you can afford to travel, get your dog a dang shot.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just plan for that. So it's not even an issue and everybody's happy and healthy when you get back. So.
Well, and if you do have problems with, getting your dog acclimated to riding in a car, like I always say, we don't really have a lot of training options up in our area. It's pretty rural where we live. But you can always see if you can locate a local trainer, someone you can, talk to or show them the situation and see if they have any suggestions to make your dog a little bit more comfortable in a car. And you don't want really your dog puking all over. Actually, you know what? I do not, even if I'm taking my dogs to the vet, I do not feed them till after their appointments.
Right.
I just don't want them yakking all over my car.
Right.
So I always put, they're feeding, even if they feed twice a day, then they're just going to get one feeding that day because I'm not going to have them thrown up at the vet in my car.
Right.
It makes the long trip longer. So if you are traveling, you can plan their meals a little bit around your drive time.
Well, and they probably feel better not throwing up and just eating later. So, I think, but...
unless your dog's bulimic, I don't know.
Right, they might be that way.
But anyhow, yeah, so just a few tips there. And then also, like you said earlier on, there are medications that a doctor can give to help your dog be a little bit more relaxed in the car.
Yep. And that's it really does help. And also, if you are going somewhere and you really want to be prepared, you can always look up vets in the area along the way so that if something did happen, you kind of have an idea of contact information and where you can go. Heaven forbid anything happen, but
yeah. Well, there's emergency vet clinics that are for people that are not clients there.
Yeah.
So that's good to have that list and be prepared. Stay ahead of the game.
That's right. That's all you got to do. Well, and one thing I did come across, which I thought was quite interesting, they say to keep a pet first aid kit in your car.
Oh, that's an excellent idea.
Yes, which I've not really heard of that, so I had to Google it. And I made a list. Oh. So it's kind of a long list, but I'm going to throw out a few kind of good, some of the more important ones that I think would probably be
Benadryl? Is Benadryl on there?
Benadryl is on there.
See?
Yes.
These.
Yep.
These.
They absorbent gauze pads, some tape, things like that. 3% peroxide. So if they ingest something that's not good for them, that'll help them
puke it up.
Yep.
Yep.
So without going to the vet, and I know they have some stuff for that at the vet, but the peroxide will work in a pinch. That's a good for the emergency situations.
Yes.
And then alcohol wipes and oral. Well, I thought this was interesting. They have oral syringe or turkey baster. Is that a?
I think I watched a City Confidential where somebody poisoned someone with a turkey baster.
Oh well, maybe forced to. You will take this.
Yeah.
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 So
we ain't having no damn turkey.
No, which I thought, well, the turkey baster is probably going to be easier to get.
Right.
But so that was. Some of the, and then antibiotic ointments, some tweezers, some of the smaller things that are kind of a little bit more. Actually, there's one, and maybe you know why.
Okay.
But our artificial tear gel.
Artificial tear gel.
Yes. Why?
In case your dog gets a sudden attack of dry eyes?
That's what yeah. Oh, these allergies are real bad. My eyes.
I guess I'm not real sure on that one.
Yeah. And it was on a couple different lists, too. So.
It must be important. We're going to have to check into that one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the purpose of that is. I think dry eyes, but.
They have saline eye solution as well. So I'm thinking, what?
That's for their contacts.
Yeah, well, that's immediately what came to my mind was contact salute. I mean, okay, well.
Interesting.
So there was some things on there where I kind of had to wait. But, a lot of good stuff, in the list. You can look up your own. And in some stores, they do actually have a kit that's you can just purchase. And it's got.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know. Some of those kits you pay so much money for, and then it's stuff that is like artificial tears.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you don't feel like that's really that important.
Right.
So maybe the better thing to do is to look at the list and see what's there and pick what you feel is more applicable to your animal.
Right.
And where you're going. And then you're not wasting money on things that you don't need. I mean, you can get a little makeup purse for $15 and put the more important stuff in it.
Right.
Or at least what applies more to your situation.
Well, and a lot of the stuff is a few bucks.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to end up spending less money putting together your own kit. That's more, like you said, applicable to your dog or pet.
Maybe we're just cheap.
Well, I know I am. But.
We's po.
Yeah. So, we're all about improvising.
Huh.
So, but yeah.
That's a really good, and you think about it with people, you always think, oh, you got kids. I mean, if I go look in your purse right now, Tori, do you have Band-Aids for Daytrick?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we always think about it with our kids or ourselves, but I guess I hadn't really thought about taking a, first aid kit for dogs.
Yeah.
I've never really had a dog get hurt while I've been gone, but that isn't out of the, it is possible.
Right.
That could happen.
It could. So
I don't know about the dry eyes.
I don't know about, yeah, that was quite interesting. When I saw that, I'm like, is this for everybody in the car then? Or.
In case you drive through a hayfield, everybody needs some eye drops.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's everybody's assignment. Everybody out there listening, look up why you would need this for your dog in a first aid kit.
Yeah. Or
we'll do the same.
What if you get pulled over and you need your dog to look real sad to get out of a ticket?
Have you seen that post? I've been looking at that too much this week. Actually, what happened? Okay, I've got kind of a handful at my house.
Yeah.
Bolo and Gabby tore my internet wiring off the house.
Oh, yep.
It is laying that whole, I don't even know what the box does, but everything is off the house and laying in the yard.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Now they destroyed the hose.
Yep.
I guess
They
they're
did.
done with that, and now they're after my internet.
Yeah, well, the hose is no fun anymore.
So instead of paying bills on the internet and doing my work, I've been on my phone.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
There is a post on Facebook of this guy. It shows this pit bull with like these bulging eyes sitting back in the seat, and the guy's like getting pulled over by a cop, and he says, just act normal.
Yep.
And the dog looks like he's about ready to burst.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
That dog needs some eye drops when they're done. I
Yeah.
can tell you that.
His eyelids will be stuck open.
They will.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my
Now we know why you need eye drops right there.
right.
The-
Right.
The
In case
tops
you get
of,
pulled over.
yeah, those cops, they're scary.
Ask the pit bull.
Yeah.
You know, I think pit bulls I've never owned a pit bull
Mm-hmm.
myself.
Right.
Cody has a mix of a pit bull, and I think you've had pit bulls.
Yep.
They seem like they might be kind of characters.
They are ridiculous.
They are
They
kind of silly dogs. I think.
the faces, I'm always impressed at the facial expressions that come from a dog, because you wouldn't think that they would be able to really express that much, but I'm telling you what, they have sad faces, mad faces, irritated faces, what are you doing to me faces. And,
Well, they do seem like interesting dogs.
yeah, people, they're a little more high strung than what we've got now, but they're actually, I really hate that they've got such a bad reputation, because
Well, that's bad breeding.
it is.
I mean, honestly, we're way off topic here.
I know, yeah, yeah.
If you take two dogs that have very unpleasant dispositions
Mm-hmm.
and breed them, there's a good likelihood that you're going to get some puppies that have bad dispositions, and then they just keep breeding those rotten dogs with the rotten dogs, and you get rotten dogs.
Yeah,
And that isn't how you do it. A
No.
responsible breeder would never do that. So
right.
that is no fault of the pit bulls at all.
Yeah, we still support the pit bulls too.
Sure we
so
do.
It's we like all dogs for the most part.
That lets chihuahuas out, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I'm just,
Pomeranians?
well,
No.
they're like a fluffy chihuahua, let's be honest.
That's true.
It's
True. Anyhow, but back to the topic.
yes, sorry.
Yeah, so we don't know what the purpose of the eye drops are.
No.
The whole world can just Google that, and
yeah.
maybe we'll get a chance to look into that ourselves. I don't know.
You can let us know though too.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and comment to us if you do find out.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah. Happy to learn it.
Yeah, we'll do some looking too. But so just this is a lot of good stuff. Just keep in mind when you're doing a road trip, make sure you got everything you need.
Or if you're like me, and you just take dogs running around,
right.
Plan it right. You know what I do in my van?
What's that?
I actually have a dog, Yazi,
yes.
who I can walk through a park off leash and he'll pretty much stay with me.
Yeah.
He doesn't explore far from me. Great dog. But when I do take my dogs to the store, I always think preventative. And even though I know this dog is well-mannered, obeys everything, when I take him with me in the store, to the stores, and he's in the vehicle, I have leashes that are looped around the headrests.
Yeah.
And I clip him onto that so I can open doors and load whatever I'm buying, most often dog food.
Right.
And he can't get out, because if for any reason a squirrel, a mouse, something would get him to where he thinks he needs to run out of that vehicle, I'm putting my dog at risk for getting hit by a car.
Right.
Or scaring somebody that is afraid of larger dogs.
Right.
So, when you're traveling with your dog, even though you think this is a really great dog they'd never get out of the car. I told him to stay.
Right.
You need to always think preventative. Well, you don't have to, but I recommend it.
I think it's an excellent, yeah.
And, clip him in there somehow. And, he has like 4 feet of leash.
Right.
So he can still move around comfortably, but he can't get to the back of the van where I'm opening the door.
Right.
And if I have 2 dogs with me, I hook one onto each headrest, and they're at the front of the van as I'm opening the back. So you just have to think of little things like that when you're traveling with your dogs. Initiate it when they're little and just kind of keep giving them rules and keeping them safe as you're driving or
loading or getting,
anything related to having doors open or traffic around.
Getting kids in the car. I mean,
well, I don't think about that, but yes.
I mean,
I don't think about it because I don't have kids.
Yeah, you do. We're just grown.
Kinda. Anyhow, yeah, so these are just things, great tips. And again, if you're ever concerned about the handling or how to get your dog acclimated, look at talking to a trainer in your area.
Yes.
If them getting car sick or being just so panicky is a problem, make sure to talk to your vet about it and just, stay on top of it. And long trips, plan ahead.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult to do. You can do it.
That's right. And, if you do feel like you need assistance, I'm sure there's somebody that you could ask for help.
Even a friend.
Yep.
Or a mother.
Just be exact. I call my mom all the time. So, even just going in the car with you, have somebody in the back for a little while. It's kind of, there's...
Ease their mind.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. So I'm sure... I know there's people out there that don't like dogs, but first of all, shame on them. But I think it'd probably be pretty easy to find somebody to help with something like that too. So,
yes,
even if they're not a trainer.
Yeah. So next time we will be talking about safety and effects of dog boarding.
This one I'm interested in looking up some stuff on that.
Yes. We hear a lot of people telling us stories and asking questions, problems, no problems, just there's a lot of communication going on within the dog community about dog boarding. So we will be discussing that next time. And we might have a special surprise next time.
Yes.
I'm not going to say too much about it because we have to get that written in stone before I say too much on it.
Yes.
But we might have an additional surprise for next time.
I'm hoping.
Yes.
So we'll go from there. But until then, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and email us at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com or comment down below.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. And we hope that you will be here for our next episode.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.